Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? I'm really pumped up to show you what our friends at Micsig sent me for review. I'm talking about the brand new Micsig STO1004 4-channel oscilloscope. Micsig has a very nice track record on their devices and released a few months ago this new oscilloscope, and the STO1004 seems to be the first of several models that are due to be released this year. Great news ahead. The tablet format of this oscilloscope is designed for usage in the field. It is very robust and features 4 channels, 100 MHz bandwidth, a sampling rate of 1 gigasample per second, and 70 megapoints of memory depth, a 8 inches TFT LCD capacitive touchscreen, and a few more whistles and bells. I'll show you all in a bit. I'd like to thank Micsig for sending this amazing oscilloscope for review, and also to all my viewers that are using the channel affiliate links while doing their shopping on AliExpress, Amazon and Banggood. Your collaboration and also the manufacturers that are sending this material for review is making this channel better and allow it to grow each day it passes. I'm really grateful for all your support. So without further ado, let's see the feature highlights of this badass oscilloscope. So let's see what is delivered with this Micsig oscilloscope. Let me open the box. This is the box where it comes. Okay, let's take the oscilloscope out. Okay, first we have an accessory box, and I have also the oscilloscope, and in here some more stuff. Let me take it all out. Yeah. So it seems to be delivered with this protective screen mask. Yeah, I will apply it later. We have here instructions manual. Let's take a quick look to see what is delivered, how it is. Okay, this one seems to be Chinese. Yeah. We have here also a calibration certificate. Yeah, that's good, and everything it's delivered in the packing list. Okay, very good. So instructions and manual is not here. Okay, so let me take this off. We will see in a bit the oscilloscope. First, let me see what comes in this box. Okay, in the box we have 2 sets of probes, 4 in the total. Yeah, they are small probes. Okay, let me open one. Okay, I will open one in a second. We have also a power cable. I believe this is USA or UK, I don't know. It's not a European format. And also a power supply, but since we have the standard socket here, I will use one of my cables, no problem. Okay, let me take this out. And finally, we also have some cloth for screen cleaning, wipes, wet and dry. And finally, we have here the oscilloscope. Okay, I will turn off my top light so it will not be so brightness in the screen. Okay, let's start by opening this like this. Take the plastic off. Yeah. Okay, here it is. We have a lot of reflection here. We have 4 connectors for probes. We have an auxiliary out. We also have in here the power button, the signal output for compensation, USB, HDMI, and a few other. This is the power socket. I think this is USB Type-C. And yeah, on the bottom we don't have anything, and we have here a handle to better hold the oscilloscope. Yeah, very nice, very nice. It seems it doesn't have power, so I will have to charge the battery and yeah, to see how this works. I'm gonna now show you the operation and what's on the screen. I have to start my my presentation by saying that I'm really sorry for the condition that is this screen protector. Well, this is the third time I'm recording these takes for the video, because this screen is very good but highly reflective. And the third time I decided to install this protective cover. It's amazing. It will take all the reflection out, but it was a very hard job and I'm not very good at it, as you can see, and I think I damaged a bit the protection. So yeah, we have here, this is not a defect on the screen or on the device, it's really the screen protector that it's not in good shape. So sorry for that, but I will show you a small take of the footage before this, and you will see for sure that it is impossible to see anything with the reflection on the screen. So it's better to record with this well, without the screen protector. Okay, without further ado, we have here the run, stop and single indicator. This is the memory depth indicator. Right now I have the memory depth set to auto, but it can go up to 70 megapoints in memory depth. We have here also 1 gigasample per second, it's the maximum. If you turn other channels on, it will pass with 2 channels for 500 megasamples per second, and with 3 or more channels it will reduce to 250 megasamples per second. I will disconnect the other channels. In here we have the memory navigation, the memory position. You can navigate this in memory just by using your finger. It's quite fast. Yeah. We have also the slope indicator, or rising edge and falling edge. The channel that is set to control the trigger. In here we have the channel controls. We also have the same channel controls here in the right side. You can connect or disconnect the channel like this, or you just press on the screen. To disconnect the channel on the screen, just go to the right and it will close the channel. Okay, disconnect the channel. So moving on, we have the level also. In here you have the connections to change the what will be the trigger. This can be changed also in here using this little knob on the right side, and pressing twice it will center as usual. In the bottom we have the cursors, horizontal cursors icon and vertical cursors icon. If you press this icon, it will automatically turn the cursors on or off. And you have also, for the same function, here on the right side, 2 keys that allow you to control the cursors. To move the cursors, you can drag it without any problem. Let me just connect the probe to my function generator like this, so we can have a signal. Yeah, better now. Let's do auto. The probe is not connected. It works better when it's connected to the oscilloscope. Sorry about that. And yeah, let's do auto. Disconnect channel 2. Auto again. Yeah, and we have a sine wave. So to position the cursors, It's pretty easy, just drag it. With the touch screen it's really fast to do that. You can move, as I showed you before, the signal on the memory to see what's there, and you can move this on also. Again, you can move the cursors with the knob. Okay, if you press, it will change to the other cursor. Right now you can move both, and if you press again, it will change to this one. To move the horizontal cursors, just press it, and up and down will move the horizontal. Okay, so pretty easy to use, very intuitive. I like this very much. In the bottom we have the time division selector. We can decrease the time division, or increase, or in this case put it a lower value up to 2 nanoseconds, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, it's 2 nanoseconds, the lowest that you can have in here. The same can be done in this one to the left. As you can see, this knob will also allow you to control the time division. In terms of amplitude, it's up and down in this knob. If you are using the touchpad, you have in here the buttons to change the time division. Okay, let me turn this channel off. You have here also the icon to save. Okay, this oscilloscope is connected by Wi-Fi to the network, so you can share the photo immediately. And if you have several channels on, you can click on this menu to choose which channel you want to control. It's almost the same that choosing here which channel you want. Okay, so you can take this menu off the screen. And basically this is what is visible on the screen. If you drag your like a motion, don't forget this is based on Android, so you can use a motion from the button and you will have a new menu where you can do a capture. Again, it's the same that's pressing here the photo, or the other one that I just made. It has several times this option. Let me just, yeah, it disappeared. You have here the zoom function. Also in here on the right, you cannot see but the key is it has light. And on the zoom function you can navigate through the memory points. Okay, you can disconnect the zoom, and we have all measures, all the measures available. And in terms of sorry about this, in terms of the measurements, we have two sets of measurements, but this one will change always according to the channel that is selected. If you have another channel, it will always be on the screen, but it will show you always the measurements of the selected channel. So I will disconnect those channels. Yeah, and we have another set of measurements that I will show you in a bit. We have also, for serial decoding, the text from S1, S2, or S1 and S2. We can take this off, and this off also. And we have also the menu on the screen. This menu on the screen will have the functions equal to the auto. Okay, as you can see, it selects when you use it. You have the run, stop, and also the single button. Okay, the single for capturing a single shot. The 50%, and I don't see the 50% over here, but you have always the chance of pressing the knobs. The knobs are clickable and have a very good feeling while working with it. And you have the chance to center everything with the knobs. Let's take this out of the screen, and basically from the bottom, that's what we have. We have also on the top the menu. the menu can be accessed, the menu can be accessed from the top, or you have on the right a key for the menu and also a key for the quick menu. That's the one that you use on the bottom, that I use to activate from the bottom. This is the quick menu, and we have the menu. So the menu, from the right we have measurements per channel. For example, I could select the frequency, the rise time, RMS somewhere in here, if I can see it, RMS, and from channel to fall time, I don't know, period, and so on, and for channel 3. And the settings appear on the bottom always, and from the channels we selected, okay? It's different from the, let me show you here in the quick menu. Yeah, it's different from those because those are from the selected channel, okay? And while in the bottom, it's always from the channels that we selected the values, and we can have both at the same time. Let me take this out of the way, and also these channels. Let's grab the menu again. This will also be out. Also in the measure menu we have the counter. We can activate the counter for one of the channels if you want to. In terms of save, we can save for the local storage. It's 32 gigabytes, so a lot of storage available. Or you can connect USB disk. It's the U disk. It's not connected right now. And yeah, you can save it with name and everything else. Wave, CSV, bin. We can save to R1, R2 or R3 here in the reference. We can save also profiles with the settings and the picture if it should have timestamp or inverse color. In terms of settings, that's it. We have the sampling. The sampling modes, we have normal, average, inval and peak. And in terms of depth, you have 70 megapoints per second, the maximum, or auto, and it will calculate what the needs automatically. Several functions and combinations available here. And the next one is the display. For the display, we have here the horizontal reference to the center or to the trigger position, and the trigger base if it's IT or XY. XY, obviously, it's the XY mode where we can do the animations and stuff like that. If the roll is it's on or off also, and the color temperature on the waveform, and I will show you that in a bit. It's pretty cool, the color temperature. So in terms of the waveform, we can select dots or vectors. I don't see difference when I change it. I don't know. And also the brightness. We can change also the reticle. It's this behind to grid, reticle, and frame. I prefer full. I like everything, and you can create some intensity. Let's see the other ones. Okay. Now we see this one better. And frame. No frame. Full. I like everything. And the persist mode. Right now it's auto. We can disable it. Normal or infinity. You can adjust also for the number of waveforms you want to persist. The trigger is a huge menu. We have a lot of stuff in the trigger. The normal, it's the edge, okay. We have also here the hold off time and the trigger mode auto or normal. In the edge, we have the normal information, the channel, the edge, rising edge, falling edge or dual, the coupling, we have the normal DC-AC, it exists in every scope almost, and then we have HF reject, LF reject, and noise reject. So it's the normal. So you after have the pulse width with the almost the same configuration, the logic, okay, you have the N edge, the runt, the slope. After that you can drag the menu to the side. You have the timeout, the video with several video types to trigger. So for the people that do TV repairing, this is awesome. And you have the serial for UART and serial 2 also for 2 channels serial decoding. Let me just put this on edge. Yeah, it's the one I want. You have also some settings for auto. The auto set, if it does channel detection, it's on or off. If you have the auto trigger setting to the current to the max, threshold, and auto range with several options that are all disabled also. Finally, you have the user set menu where you can do a factory reset or a self-adjust. It's the calibration of the device. This is a process that will take almost 10 minutes, something like that, around that. And yeah, it takes a lot. And in terms of menu and options, I think we are pretty much there. In this area, you have the area for the channels. You can activate each channel in here or deactivate. Also, you can do the same in here as I showed you before. And for each channel, you have here a menu. You can press on the right, or you can go to the screen and just pass the finger to the left. You have in the menu the DC, AC or ground, the coupling, if it's on or off, and if it is inverted. In terms of the probe, you have the vol or the current, and you can have also the selection, the attenuation selector selection in here. Let me take this out. You have the bandwidth full, high pass, low pass, or 20 M limit. And finally, you have the V scale reference to the center or 40. Right now it's 40. It's the option is 40. And you can choose a name for each channel, a label. You can call it channel 1, John, whatever you want. Okay, so let's move on. In this menu, we have also the reference, where you can save several references to compare the waveforms. And finally, the matte menu. In terms of matte menu, I will show you in a bit everything about the matte menu. But this is the operation for this oscilloscope. Finally, before moving on, we have a screen lock. If you don't like to use the screen, okay, you don't want to use the screen, you can lock it. As you can see, it's locked. It's still in green, the screen lock, and you press again and it's unlocked and you can see the screen. One final thing that I didn't show you, let me just yeah, if you want to move between the 4 channels or the matte and serial UART channels and functions, you just do here, oops, not here, you just move this up or down and you change from one to the other. Okay, this is everything about the operation of the oscilloscope. I will show you the other functions in a bit. Okay, so let me talk a bit about the operating system. This runs on Android, modified version. If you press here, you come to the main screen. It's equal to the Android tablets in many ways. You have here the selection of applications and stuff like that. If you go from the top, you have here the definition for Wi-Fi, and you also can do a screen recording. Going back to the main window, In terms of settings, you have the a reduced menu, settings menu, but it's very similar to the normal that you get on a Android phone. You have here the model, the Android version. It runs on Android 11. Right now I have my Wi-Fi operating, and yeah, the build number, everything that you need in here. You have also the storage, the system, yeah, normal stuff. In here you have the user guide, the user manual. You can download also from the internet. I leave the link in the description. So you have also a browser that you can use. It opens normally on Micsig website. It seems to work pretty well. Yeah, it's fast. And I even tried already. And if you don't know, I have a website where I write the articles of the videos I do, and sometimes it has even more information and files like on firmwares and stuff like that that I store on my website, so don't forget to give a visit there. And yeah, it seems to work pretty well. Yeah, and can be very useful to see data sheets and stuff like that while working without having a computer on the field. Okay, so going back to the main menu, I want to show you only two more things. The first is this awesome tool. This tool allows you to do several calculations of several calculus, like this voltage divider. For example, if you know my voltage divider board, for each of these resistance I had to make a calculus like this. For example, let's assume that I will input 12 volts and the first resistance is 1 mega ohm, and I want to output, I always make this mistake, I want to output 100 millivolts. Okay, so let me see what is the resistance that I need to have to make this happen. And yeah, you have the resistance divider, the resistance calculator, the color image of the resistance, the resonance calculator, RC filters, parallel resistance, 3-terminal voltage, and so on. Yeah, as you can see, you have several useful tools here to calculate values. I want to show you one last thing. Well, the gallery, of course, it should have here the image that I have here several images recorded, and you can print, you can share, and so on. But you can also do another stuff that is very interesting. You can do a screen recording. Let's start a screen recording, and I will say that I want to show the touches on the screen. Let's go to oscilloscope. Yeah, right now I'm going to do a, let's turn this on. I'm going to do a auto. Yes, and as you can see, we can even see the cursor on the screen. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, let's go back to the main and just press to stop the screen recording. Yeah, that's it. And we have in here the film, the recording that I've just did. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, it's, you see the cursor over there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you want to do a tutorial or just see what you are doing, yeah, So yeah, this one it's done. Let me start by talking about the probes. The probes delivered are these ones. Let me show you. Yeah, they are a bit smaller than the normal. Just for comparison, I have here my Regal 300 megahertz. It's a little bit larger, not much, but it's a little bit. And the normal that is delivered with every ship oscilloscope, P6100, that is a bit larger than this one. The main difference from this probe to the other ones is that I have here the 1 or 10 times selector, and this doesn't have that selector because it is an active probe. You have here the connectors that will connect here in the oscilloscope, and it will automatically adjust the selected attenuation, sorry. As I was telling you, it is delivered with 5 of these probes. I have here 2 right now for these tests, but it comes with 5, so it's delivered with a complete set of probes. It also brings these connectors for testing in the boards, these kind of tips. You have this one for ICs and also this one to isolate the connector on the tip, and yeah, the normal rings and everything else. As usual, also you have the normal screwdriver for probe compensation. Let's start by seeing how this probe is. I'm gonna connect here in the channel 1. As usual, we will connect this to the probe compensation. And let's do an auto and see what else we have here. As you can see, it's not correctly compensated, so let me just use the screwdriver and put this correctly at 90 degrees angle, and right now it's perfectly compensated. So that's it, nothing special. Moving on. Okay, right now I will show you the matte menu. In the terms of the matte menu, let me show you here from the top. We have several options. The first one is the double wave. You can execute several operations using channel 1 and channel 2 or any other channel you want, like adding or subtracting, multiplying or dividing. For example, if I want to divide channel 1 for channel 2 or multiply, we will have different results. As you can see, this is the matte channel. Okay, this is the first option. We have in the second option FFT. I will leave this one to the end. We have also the AX plus B, and this will allow you to execute several operations. You can put here the unit, channel from the source, the A and the B, and it will calculate whatever you want. Okay, and then you have the advanced math, where you can insert expressions like logarithmic or cosinus or, well, tangent and everything else, and it will create an expression that you can use there. Let me take this off. You have after variables and the units also, and the V-scale to the center or to 0 also. And in terms of math functions, that is pretty much. Still on the math menu, we normally have the FFT. It's the normal place where we can find this menu. Okay, so I already have here a signals to show you the FFT. Let me turn the FFT to decibels, and I will close or disconnect channel 1 and show you the FFT working. We have here a signal. We have the information about the decibels and frequency and everything else here on the right side. Let me move this a bit up so you can see the harmonics. And yeah, you see here the harmonics, and you can even use the cursors on the FFT as you have it here. You can move them and use it without any problem. Pretty awesome, really. In terms of FFT, this is one of the best of the FFTs that I used. Even considering my Rigel, I have the STO1004 This is a very good oscilloscope. It's 300 megahertz with 2 gigasample per second, or 1 giga per channel, 300 megahertz. So it's a very nice oscilloscope, but even so, in terms of FFT, this one is the best I've worked. It's what gives you more options and more information on the screen, but it will show you, and it is quite fast to work, really fast. And we can even increase the detail of the signal, and you can navigate on the signal like this. Okay, let me take the cursors. You have here the harmonics. So in terms of FFT, I'm really surprised, not surprised, but happy with this FFT. Okay, next, XY mode. Okay, in terms of XY modes, it's easy to activate. We come here to the display, Y, and we have here already the normal circle. Okay, I've increased the circle. Let's animate this. Okay, give me a second to change the frequency. Okay, we start slow. I will try something faster. Yeah, like this. And yeah, it seems to have very good processing. The rendering is quite fast. I have here a big circle. Let me change again. Yeah, it seems to work very well. Okay, let's create different animations. Okay, we have here different waveform types. You can even activate the color temperature. It will give you a different notion of the working of this system. Okay, we have another figure in here with color. You can see here where are the red points, where it repeats more in the top and in the bottom. Let me just increase here the frequency, and we have a different figure. Yeah, another figure in the same way. So it seems to work pretty well. As you can see, the rendering, it's pretty fast. It works, yeah, amazingly. So another win for Micsig. Let's now see how the oscilloscope shows several waveforms. I will put my function generator at 1 megahertz, and let's do auto, and we have a square wave at 1 megahertz. Let's see now the auto, and we have now a sine wave at 1 megahertz. Let's see a square wave. Yeah, it seems okay, very correct. A triangle wave. Yeah, we have now the PWM, and I think this is noise. Yep. Arbitrary. Okay, and in arbitrary I can show you another one that I like to use. We have the cardiac XCG, and also I like to test also this one. Let me just, this might need some adjustments. Not here. Let's see. Okay, I think I have to adjust the trigger in some way, but yeah, you get the idea. We have here the heart figure. So right now I'm going to test this, to take this to the maximum bandwidth. In the maximum bandwidth we should have here in the peak-to-peak 0.7014 to 20 millivolts at 100 megahertz. Right now I have 1 megahertz. As you can see, it's over 1 volt, and I will be rising the speed until the 100 megahertz, and let's see how this will handle that. Okay, the first step, it will be 25 megahertz. My function generator is outputting 1 volt, so let's do auto. It's quite fast to do the auto. The square wave, the sine wave is perfect, no glitches here. We can detect here 25 megahertz and also the peak-to-peak of 941. I will try to focus a little better. Okay, I think it's more visible now, the values. So right now we have a peak-to-peak of 945, and we are at 25 megahertz. Let's increase this to 50 megahertz. Okay, as you can see, he adjusted instantly the sine wave. Let's do an auto. It takes about 1 second. We can take this to 2 nanoseconds. It's the maximum. It's still okay, very good, the sine wave. And we have 991 millivolts. So it's perfect at half of the supported speed. Let's take this to 75 megahertz. Very good, the sine wave, still perfect. And in terms of voltage, we have 907 millivolts. So I'm quite convinced this will not go down of 700 millivolts at 100 megahertz. The frequency here is correct. Yeah, oscillating a bit, but nothing serious. And let's take this to 100 megahertz. It's the maximum, 100 megahertz peak-to-peak bandwidth. It's the maximum of my function generator. And also we have here about 70-40, 70-30, 720, 40, 30. Yeah, it's basically oscillating over 720. As you can see, the sine wave, it's very well designed at the maximum or minimum time range of 2 nanoseconds, and the frequency, it's always also detecting correctly. So yeah, I think this is a winner. Well, on the entry-level oscilloscopes you normally don't have this feature, but on the more expensive oscilloscopes you start to have. I'm talking about the color temperature. When modulating a signal, for example, you see that there is a place where the signal is repeated more times, in here for example. And using the color temperature, let's go to display, and here in common we can activate the color temperature, and here in the red you can see where the signal is repeated more times. Let me change just the... Here you have another example of the color temperature. I will show you this image directly with the output from the HDMI, so you can see exactly how the color temperature is shown on the screen, because right now here with the camera it's very white, you cannot see the difference. So I will show you directly from the HDMI output, and as you can see in this zone, the red one, the signal is repeated more often. This is a FM signal. Let me try AM signal, the normal one, for this kind of demonstration. I don't know right now. Okay, in the screen we have the normal image for showing the color temperature, as you can see in this place, and I will show you again the image from the oscilloscope directly from the HDMI. In this part we have the repeated color, and you can see the progression. I think it has 256 tones, so yeah, pretty cool. Okay, let's see what's next. To show you how the protocol works, the protocol decoding works, I set up really fast here in one of my Arduinos that I have been using to program EEPROM, and I just set up really quickly here a dirty program that sends a string to the serial. I will show you first how these appear in the logic tool software that is using this very cheap logic analyzer. For that I just need to connect here on port 11, I think. Yeah, and you can see already he is detecting the data on the screen. But first let's see what we should get here on the logic 2 software on my PC. Okay, for that I just need to do here run, yeah, wait for the data to come in, and as you can see on the screen, Micsig STO1004, and I made a mistake, it's not SPO, it's STO, TechCorner review. This is the string that the Arduino is sending to the logic analyzer, and I'm capturing also this string on the Micsig. So going back to the Micsig, let's see how we can get this same string here on the oscilloscope. First of all, you do auto. As you can see here, the trigger is not set to UART, so the first thing we will do is activate the serial 1, okay, and do a trigger auto again, sorry, auto again. So as you can see, it's already here detected. Let me just make the time division smaller, not bigger, smaller. And yeah, okay, it's here on the screen, the sentence that the Arduino is sending by serial. You have here the Micsig STO1004. This is STO, it's an error, a typo. TechCorner review. Okay, yeah, all here. So this is the line carriage, so the end of the string. As you can see, it's pretty easy to use. You have several triggers for that. I'm using right now the start bit, but you can use any other. You can just do a single and it will capture this. Also related with this, you have also the UART. This is right now in stop. That will capture all the text to this window. And to access this, you just go in quick menu. You have here the serial txt, and yeah, that's easy. It will show you all the text in here. If you want to see any other details, you can choose here how to display. For example, if you want to see it in X, yep, you can see it in X and ASCII on the side. So pretty easy to use, really, nothing too much complicated here. You will be able to decode several protocols. Let me show you just to end this. You have the UART, LIN, CAN, SPA, I2C, 429 and 1553B. Okay, to download the software and also the user manual, if you want to PDF with that, you just come here to the Micsig website, choose support and service, and select the tablet oscilloscope. In here you have the user manual for the tablet oscilloscope Smart Series STO1000, that's this unit. And if you come here to computer software, you can download the PC software and also the data to CSV. You have also apps. For example, if you want to use the Android system with the oscilloscope, and probably some videos to teach you some stuff. Okay, let's go to computer software and downloads. After you've downloaded the software, you have to unzip it normally and then just execute the remote display setup. This is a normal Windows process. You just need to wait for the installation. Let's put here TechCornerTV. Okay. And install. Just wait a few seconds. Okay, and it's installed. Well, now on your Windows startup you should have the Scope Suite TO1000. Let's open it. So this is the client. It's pretty easy to use. I'm gonna use net to access the oscilloscope, but you can use USB also if you connect yours by USB. Mine is already recognized here on the internet. Just click here in link. So using this terminal, you can do everything you can on the oscilloscope directly. You have here on the right also some function keys like the 50%, auto, single and run stop. And you can even film or take pictures. Some settings, where to save. And as you can see, this works very well. You can use all the options. Let's start the oscilloscope. Yeah, it's loading. It takes a few moments to load. Okay. Yeah, almost there. Okay, and here we have it. Let me just turn the function generator on. Yeah, pretty cool. And it's quite fast to respond. I should say that this is one of the coolest applications for remote working that I've worked with. My Rigel, for example, has a very slow update while working on PC, and yeah, this is by far the best application that I see for working. It's really fast to update. Let me do a auto. Yeah, really good, really good. A very good work from Micsig. Okay, and you can do anything that you do on the tablet in here. I don't know how yet. I don't know how to call the menus. It will be cool to have a button for that. We have the 50%, the single. I believe I took a photo right now by accident. But yeah, this is really nice. Sometimes it seems to lose the connection, but yeah, maybe by USB it will be more stable because I'm using Ethernet to connect to the oscilloscope. Even so, it responds quick, very fast. Okay, that's it. Moving on. Well, the last thing I want to show you before moving on to the conclusion is a cool thing also from this oscilloscope. This is my pen for my MX Master mouse. Yeah, and yeah, you can use a mouse on this oscilloscope, and while using a HDMI output and a mouse, this can be very useful in several situations. Okay, it's like almost a computer. Yeah, and you can use it to manage everything in here using a mouse. It's almost like having a computer with an oscilloscope in it, just like you use it with your finger, but yeah, with a mouse. I love this. And of course it has also a Office suite, so if you want to use it in here, you just need a USB keyboard and you have a small computer also. This works very well on the workbench. I'm using it like this because of the reflection, but this works perfectly on the workbench. I love the feel and the how you use this. Yeah, it works pretty well. I loved really this solution, and I should say that probably in my next videos this oscilloscope will appear a lot. Okay, moving on to the conclusion. To end this review, let me start again for apologizing for my screw up with the screen protector. Yeah, this was the first time I've worked with a Micsig oscilloscope, and the experience was awesome. This unit is perfect for field and workbench use. The tablet format and the 7500 mAh battery are perfect for the use on the field. Since it's not connected to the mains heart, it's also an isolated oscilloscope that can be useful on a lot of situations. On the bench, it has a lot of positive points also. A lot of expansion interface like USB ports or the HDMI that increase the usability of the oscilloscope. As I showed you, you can use the HDMI output to connect to a TV or monitor, or even record directly what you're doing. You can also use a bunch of devices like mouse or keyboard through the USB ports. This isn't a cheap oscilloscope, but as you know, my mantra is that you get what you pay. In this unit you will find a professional equipment targeted for professionals. The quality is visible while using it and gives you a lot of confidence on the results. As I've showed you in previous videos of oscilloscopes, confidence in the results is not granted on every oscilloscope. Being a test equipment is not the same as being an accurate equipment. With the STO1004, I don't feel the lack of confidence on the results like I felt with some equipments I reviewed before. As a professional, you'll be well served with this oscilloscope, and in the same way, if you are a hobbyist like me, it will be okay to you too, but this is not for every wallet. But if it is for your wallet and you want to buy one, don't forget the direct affiliate links in the description or the access links here on the screen. You will pay exactly the same, but you will be helping me to support the costs of the channel with a small commission that I receive from my affiliate programs. Thank you all for your support and help. Regarding this unit, I think that you will be seeing it a lot here in the channel in future videos. I need to get a new screen protector to have a nice image on the videos, but the compact size will help me a lot while testing new equipments and make it easier to frame it in the image viewport. So if this video was in any way useful to you, don't forget to smack that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell to be the first one to be notified whenever I upload a new video. That's it for today. Thanks for your company, and I hope to see you in my next video. Cheers!